my view on this, we have started to share that also outside, is that a drone is basically a flying mobile phone. If you view the drone as a flying mobile phone, it will have mobile connectivity and it will have identity. Every mobile phone has a SIM card and has identity. We know where it is, we know whose it is, and also we can talk to it. And if we do the same thing with a drone, we can always fly a drone anywhere, from anywhere, because we can use the mobile network. And also we can tell a drone not to fly in certain areas. So basically you create a database with all the rules. If say you are a council somewhere and say, I don't want more than 10, nobody can fly a drone in this park except between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and no more than 10 drones. How do I send that message out today? I can put it on my website. How do I enforce it? Very difficult. But say that you put those rules into a database and every drone has to talk to that database before it takes off. Even if you are there 5 to 9, you can't take off until 9. If there are 10 drones already flying, the drone 11 can't take off because it's always talking and checking with that database. And then, of course, you can extend it to whatever case you want, with camera, without camera. Camera only for navigation, not for taking pictures. No drone closer to Malcolm Turnbull's car than 300 meters, wherever he is. And you don't want to put where he is on the web page anyway, but you can put it in this database. So once we have that, we can offer drone control as a service because we are experts in handling mobile phones. And this is just a flying mobile phone. And there's no point flying much higher than 100 meters anyway. And up to 100 meters, we have good coverage. And there are very few airplanes flying below 100 meters. So it's certainly working quite well. We have a few examples of what we have been working with drone operations. One is Little Rippers, where we have a partnership with. Little Rippers are working with surf life saving and rescue in Australia. And we have done this during the summer 2017, and we estimated about 21 people were saved by having this drone flying. The drone can fly up and down the coastline. The drone is equipped with a camera. It can identify sharks. It can see if it's a shark or a dolphin. It has a siren that can sound if you had better get out of the water. It has a floating device. It can drop down to somebody. So even if you're just caught in a rip and are drifting out, you get the floating device dropped to you until the rib comes out and picks you up. And the beauty of flying with the 3GPP network instead of the Wi-Fi and to try to fly beyond line of sight is that you can fly in places where you cannot fly. Say that you're a farmer and you want to check the fence line, you want to check how many cows you have this morning, if you have the same as you had just, maybe there's a little hill and then they say, oh, I cannot fly because I don't have visible, but back out there maybe you can. So you can use the mobile network to fly. Actually, we have been flying from our Melbourne lab, we have been flying drones in California. Because once you use the internet, of course, then you can fly them anywhere. Another example we've been working with is thermal imaging to see if you want to make an inventory of koalas in a certain sort of long, all these gum trees and eucalyptus trees, and maybe you don't want to walk around there because of whatever is on the ground in Australia. But also it's quite difficult to see them. So it's easier than to fly a drone over and just see with thermal imaging and then do the count. And they are in decline, so it's lots of projects going on now to see how can we invent. And we're doing some of these projects also to show that, because if you say drone to somebody, they think about, oh, somebody's going to fly over my backyard and take pictures of me in the pool. and I don't like drones. So if you think about, these are other use cases for drones that are good use cases. And we're trying to illustrate these to say that actually, if we can get this under control, because again, think about this database. You cannot fly over my backyard, not even to deliver a pizza. So but if you have the roads, you would maybe create highways where drones can fly and so on. So that is something that we could easily do with our technology. We also use them internally for it's been a lot of animation here somebody has put in. That's okay. Well, so this is what we're doing. We are using it internally for inspecting our towers. And that is good for cost, but also good, of course, for occupational health and safety. Instead of somebody climbing up a tower and see if all the cabling is okay up in the antenna, you can just fly up and check the drone with the drone and see if it looks okay. Maybe in the future we will go even further and we can maybe assemble stuff with drones. I don't think that will happen in a short while. But think about it. Today we are some of our partners are sending all the components to a factory, and then you are creating a base station in the factory, and then you ship the base station here, and then you think about how to, or a big antenna, you think about how to get it up the tower. Birds don't do that. They don't create a nest in the factory and then think about how shall I get this nest up to the tree. They actually assemble it up there. And that's maybe a way to go in the future also for creating tower equipment for base stations. We also have other examples. We are working with in Muru-D, which is our accelerator for startups. We have had, over the last year, we have had 2 drone companies going through, one called Fluorosat and one Nearsat. Fluorosat are working with agriculture applications, because there are cameras now that can see if what's growing there, if it's weed or if it's good crops, and then you can see where do I put pesticides and where do I put fertilizers in a more precise way. So you can use it for good in agriculture. So not only to sort of count animals and so on, but also to actually for growing crops. And Nearsat, they are taking much higher resolution satellite picture because they can fly. They don't fly, so they fly more on 20,000 meters. But that's of course much closer to the ground than a satellite does, so you can get much sharper pictures from that altitude.